Hello everyone. I hope you've been having a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday. I hope you've really been enjoying this day of peace, love, and connection. And I hope you're looking forward to the new year as much as I am. I am so excited for all the growth. I am excited for my goals and my resolutions, and I hope that you guys have some awesome goals and resolutions as well. So, for this Christmas, I was thinking about gifts, and I haven't had a lot of finances to share the gifts that I wish I could share, and that's due to the way I have been living my life. And so I was thinking about it, and I was feeling like I've been feeling a little bit constricted for a while in certain ways for several years, and I really wanted to just open up and share where I've been the past few years, the good and the bad. I don't want to have to pretend to be someone. I want to be open and free with all of my friends and all of the people I communicate with. And I just wanted to be really real with all of you guys. Several of my friends I haven't talked to in the past year or past couple years, and you are all still very, very dear to me. And I wanted to open up so that I could be real with you and I could share my joy and my light, and I don't have to be hiding away. So, this video, I'm going to share my story. So, the past 5 years or so, about 5 years ago, I went to Guatemala with my family, spent several months going through Mexico and in Guatemala, and I did the same thing the year afterwards through the winter time. And then so I went on 2 trips with my family, and then about 2 years ago I went by myself for like a month to Guatemala, and I went with a couple of friends, and it was just all those trips were very, very beautiful, magnificent experiences. I got to experience a lot of the world that I didn't know, and I got to see a lot of pure beauty from the heart and from connection, from community. I got to see a lot of darkness. I got to see a lot of really sad things, really poor people and people in hard circumstances. But through that, I saw some beautiful joy. So that was an amazing experience, and I would recommend traveling for everyone, going and seeing a part of the world that you're afraid of or not sure about, and just diving into the communities there and learning the people, because that is a very beautiful experience. So, the rest of my story, I have spent something that I've wanted to open up about, but I've been hiding away out of shame or fear. I have spent several moments of the past 5 years partaking of marijuana, and it is a very beautiful thing, and I love the experiences that it has shared with me, but I began to abuse the sacredness of it. I believe it's still very sacred, but I began abusing it, and what that did is it took the sacredness out of my everyday life, and it became this one single thing, this one substance, and I was driving for that substance, and I began letting go of the connections around me and just not caring as much about all the people around me, about my family, about my friends, because I had found something really, really cool and really amazing, and so I forgot how cool and amazing the people around me are. So I wanted to share my experience with this because it's been ups and downs, and it's been really amazing, but I don't have any regrets, but I have distanced myself from many of the people that I would like to be closer to. And so about a month ago, I had an experience where I saw what that was doing to me by taking a substance and using it. I saw where all my loved ones were. I wanted this really special thing, and so I used this really special thing to touch my heart, and in doing so, I stopped using all the people around me to touch my heart. I stopped caring about those connections. And so I just wanted to share with people that everything has order. Everything is perfect. There's no shame to be had. Well, there's plenty of shame to be had, but there's no reason for it. Our circumstances that we're in is our karma. It's our polarity. And so if you don't like where you're at in life, if you're not happy with your life, if you don't see light in it, it's probably because you're taking your light in a form that is no longer serving you, or just any addiction for example, is you're connecting with something, but in connecting with that thing, you are no longer connecting with other things. It's like if you spend all your time on an electronic device, then you're not going to talk to any humans. So I had to unplug it, or I had to plug in my phone real quickly, so I had to pause it for a second. But yeah, I found some really beautiful connections, and I found some amazing ideas, amazing patterns, and just the way the universe works, I realized some really cool things in my time. And so I don't want to deter anyone. I don't want to push anyone away from their connections if they use certain things for connecting. I just wanted to bring a light to the realization of what that is. I wanted to bring some awareness to the way we connect, whether that's with food, with drinks, with people, with objects. We connect in one area, and if we connect too much, then we start to disconnect in the things that are behind us. So another reason for doing this video is just because I'd really like to connect and share myself with many of the people who are important to me, who I have been closing myself off from due to not wanting to be seen, and by feeling shame, which I shouldn't feel, and I'm ready to break out of. So I'm ready to break out of that. One of the substances I used were psychedelics, and those were a really amazing experience. They were one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life, but at the same time, they were one of the hardest things, one of the most challenging things I've ever experienced. And they were terrifying. They took me to the edge. They are something that is condoned by most people, by everything mainstream. They are not something that is looked up upon or looked on as a good thing. And you see that shamans use them very spiritually, and there's other people who are using them medicinally, and they can create really powerful experiences. But you have to be so careful with them. They're just really, really powerful energy. And I use them, and I learned some really cool lessons. And one of the things I learned is that everything can be forgiven. Everything can be forgiven. Where we're at right now is everything in our lives. That's everything we've done. Where we're at in this moment is all our karma enacted. So if you feel crappy, that's your karma for things that you're giving or taking. If you want to feel better, you should work on giving more, pushing yourself harder, and work on the polarity. So if you want to feel good, you have to feel bad. So I learned some really cool things about karma through that. I learned about forgiveness. I learned that anyone can come back from anything. I haven't murdered anyone. I don't mess with other people. But as far as self-harm goes, or self-indulgence, everything can be forgiven. There might be tough lessons. There might be a lot of pain involved, but you can be forgiven for it. and that is super beautiful in my mind. I believe that every human being is equal. I believe that we all come from our earth, our universe, our God, or Mother Earth, and I believe that through coming from this source together, we all equally grow as much. I've grown as much as every person I've known has grown, and some people grow in different ways. Some people grow on different levels, different experiences, but we are all connected, and our spirits I believe, are all the same. We all come from a single soul or from a single God, and we're all beautiful. If you can see beauty in yourself, you can see beauty in everything. And if you can see beauty in everything, then you find beauty in yourself. And that is incredible in my mind. I believe our universe is a freaking beautiful place. It has so much potential. And if we all connect with each other, we can really create something really, really, really powerful. And that's what one of the main things I'll be working on this next year is creating power through connection and finding a driving force to create greatness in this universe, in this world specifically. Throughout my experiences, I have really found my roots. I've found where I belong, and that goes along with the people around me. I believe there's several different levels of being. You can have a mental reality where you can imagine anything, and that's imagination land. That's freaking awesome. But our roots, our feet, I believe each human being is a root. We all hold each other together. We all hold each other down, just like the roots in a tree keeps the root on the ground. If people didn't have roots, if we didn't have our connections, we would all float off into Wonderland or go somewhere crazy. But since we have each other here, we can really hold each other in this beautiful space. We can keep each other from, I was at a point where I felt I was being abusive of marijuana, and it wasn't serving me the way I would have liked it to, because I wasn't serving it, and I wasn't serving this world the way that I can be serving. And through the way I came back from that is I had a group of people that I opened up to, and through opening up to a large group and sharing my goals and what I was going to do by making a statement, I am going to stop doing this thing so much. I'm going to stop abusing it in front of a group of people. I was able to use them and use my pride and my ego as a driving force for quitting that and for being solid with myself. So I believe we're all each other's roots. We can give each other solidity. If any of us are stuck, if any of us are lost, if any of us are ungrounded, we can solidify each other. We can give each other something great so that we can create a greater world together. Because we can go into infinite imagine lands, we can have amazing dreams, we can have really amazing stuff, but I believe that it all starts right here, and right here, just with us. And so if here isn't great, if yourself isn't great, if your connections aren't great, then you're not going to find great connections elsewhere. So our roots are important, and we're all each other's roots. So that can be super powerful. I learned some really cool things about truth, about what is true, what isn't true. I believe that to some extent at least, that things are only true if you believe they are, and not if you believe they are, sorry. Well, they're only true to you if you believe they are. So if I believe, I'm I'm colorblind, so if I believe this is red to me, but if I believe it's green to me. And so there may be a solid truth, and I would recommend trying to find solid truth, and not everyone needs that, but I needed to find solid truth. But solid truth is really hard to find, and I would say it's almost non-existent to some level, because we all have to have a certain level of not knowing or unknowingness, or else we wouldn't have any drive to search any further. And so I don't think we'll ever find complete solid truth, or we can. We can find truth in nothing, find truth in just consciousness, but it's created truth. And so that's a message I wanted to share, is that we create our truth. You can go into the darkness and create your truth. If you have a lot of darkness in your life, if you're overwhelmed by darkness, you have to create your light. Your light is like your truth. You have to create it. You create what you believe in. No one can make you believe anything, and so even if someone tells you about something, you can think it's cool, but you are essentially the one that believes it. You are the one that creates that belief in it. And that's very, very powerful. I believe through believing that we are great, through believing that the people around us are great, it opens up space for greatness. If you believe your friends are great, you will see the great parts of them, because we all have greatness in us. We all have power in us. It just takes seeing it, and if we believe it, then we can see it. I found a lot of purpose in rhythm and thoughts. Like, I believe our thoughts have rhythm, and I believe everything has a pattern to it. Everything has a rhythm. We all, I believe that just being here is like a 1 in a gazillion chance, 1 in the biggest number. Like, the chance of us being here is so small, so minute, of just for us to be here in our world. And so I find purpose, and I found purpose in rhythms and patterns, because for the patterns to happen, for us to keep living, for life to happen, there's so much intricacy and so much beauty. And also with patterns comes music, comes schedules, comes organization, and that's super cool. So I love music, I love organization, and patterns are freaking amazing. That's something I wanted to share. The power of service is extremely powerful. I believe we're all connected, and I believe we're all a part of God. I believe we all have that same spirit. And so through serving other people as you would serve God, I believe you will be served by the universe or by God. Through serving unconditionally, we will have lives of unconditional love given to us. If we can love and serve and live our lives unconditionally, then that will be given back to us, and that's amazing. So serve other people, and you will serve yourself, essentially. It's kind of funny, it's paradoxical, but through giving to others, we are giving back to ourselves, whether it's inside of us or on another level, on another plane. It works, and I can attest to that. I want to create a life where I can continuously share. That's a reason I'm doing these videos. This is information that I've been very shy about, but I'm ready to share it. I'm ready to come out. I'm ready to just stand where I am and be real with everyone. So I hope sharing this wakes up something in you or brings something to your life. I hope this message brings some sort of greatness, and I hope you can share your darkness or share the parts of you that you're afraid to share. I hope you can share that with someone else and free that into being, because then you'll be freed. And yeah, I think our universe is rhythms and its patterns, and we create the power that we have. And so we can create order out of chaos, and that's super, super powerful. We have so much chaotic energy in our lives. Everything's chaotic. Choices are chaotic. Thoughts are chaotic. This is all feminine energy that zips back and forth. It's like, should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I do it? Should I not do it? So creating order in that chaos by saying, I'm going to do this, or by saying, I'm not going to do this. Just by creating order in any way, we can create so much power. So we have tons of chaos around us, and we are the creators of order. So if you have a chaotic life, I would recommend creating order to it, unless you love that chaos. And chaos is beautiful, chaos is wonderful, but it can be overwhelming if we don't have order for that chaos. I want to create a life of greatness, like I've said before, and I want to share that with you guys. I'm going to continue sharing my life in shorter videos than this one. This one I wanted to just share a lot and pour out a lot. But yeah, let's create a life of greatness together. I have several projects I'm working on, and I will continue to share those with you guys through the year. But I would love to give any of you any advice that you might need if you're struggling with addictions to a substance, or if you're struggling with too much chaos in your life, if you are struggling with connections. I would love to serve you through pulling you through those areas. And if you want to have a great time, want to have a great friend, I'd love to go on adventures with all of you as well. So just ask me, and I will ask you guys as well. And throughout the year, there's going to be a lot of greatness. So 2018 is going to be freaking amazing, phenomenal. I love it. So thank you guys for allowing me to share this with you. This is a very terrified part of my heart, but it's beautiful. I have some really beautiful energy that I will continue to share throughout the year. But first, I had to get a lot off my chest. So thank you guys for holding this space. Thanks for being aware of this. Thank you for bringing your awareness into my life, and for forgiving me for where I've been. I love you guys, and I hope this brings peace to you guys. I hope if you're feeling shame for anything, you can use me as an example not to feel shame. That's somewhere that I found purpose in, is I have done things that to myself that are not the best. I have hurt my body, and I believe everyone's an extension of ourselves, and so through hurting ourselves, we are hurting others to a degree, but you can't be hurt unless you allow it. So that's a false belief, that you can hurt others through hurting yourself. But yeah, I hope that you guys can be forgiving of me, be forgiving of yourselves, and have a great year. Just know that everything's perfect, everything is in order. This is the order that our lives have created. So thank you guys for watching. I love you all, and may you have a fantastic night, fantastic New Year's, and set some great resolutions. Love you guys.